My first HO train layout in a long time. Part 16, adding a Walthers Trainline 40-foot tank car to my rolling stock. I am not a collector. I keep all of my rolling stock on the layout. There is a section on my website where I describe all of the rolling stock that I have in use. The section contains information on each of the cars and descriptions of the problems encountered and their fixes before they could be put into use. They all required something. Early on with this project, I'd run across the Walthers Trainline 40-foot Amoco tank car, and it had remained in the back of my mind. I wanted to honor my father, a Marine in the Pacific during World War II, on my railroad. My father was an agent for the Standard Oil Company, which became Amoco while he still owned his bulk plant. He delivered home heating oil to homes, gasoline, diesel, and lubricants to farmers. He also delivered diesel fuel, gasoline, 55-gallon drums of lubricant products and greases to various gravel pits, and cases of motor oil and other lubricants to Standard Oil Amoco gas stations in the area. He also delivered kerosene. He used a truck very similar to the one I found online. A bulk plan is shown in the background. He also had a stake truck for delivering drums and cases of oil products. He was a very hard-working man with a very physical job. I needed some Kadee couplers for a project that I was working on in March of 2024. When I ordered the couplers from Yankee Dabbler, I found that they had a Walthers 40-foot Amoco tank car at a very reasonable price. The shipping would have been the same price whether I just ordered the couplers or added the Walthers tank car. On March 24, 2024, I ordered the 40-foot tank car for $14.38 and a package of Kadees for $4.79. The shipping was $6.89 for a total of $26.06. The order arrived on March 29th. I weighed the tank car. It weighed only 64 grams. The delivered weight was far from the NMRA recommended weight of between 99 grams and 113 grams. My PDF measuring page was used to determine the NMRA recommended weight. A Kadee 205 height gauge was used to check the height of the supplied Walthers couplers. Unlike the very good placement of the couplers shown in the photo, the couplers were a bit too low on the tank car. I figured that I'd just unscrew the trucks and replace the couplers with Kadee number 148s and add the appropriate Kadee washers between the trucks and the frame as needed. Before the supplied couplers were swapped out, they were also checked over the Kadee magnets I had in the track. They hung up a bit because the couplers were too low and didn't perform as well as I thought they should, but that was not a problem as I'd already decided to use Kadees. I tried to unscrew what I thought were single slot screws holding the trucks to the frame. That did not work out. They would not unscrew. I found a YouTube video where the author addresses this problem, but he doesn't address the coupler height problem. Also, there was no way to reuse the compression pin, as there was not enough room for a Kadee 15 thousandths inch washer. I carefully pried the trucks off of the frame using a small screwdriver. I could not figure out how to reattach the trucks. They were held on with what I call a compression pin through the frame and then passing through the hole in the truck assembly. The compression pin was clipped off and removed from the frame. I carefully pried the bottom of the tank from the frame using various small screwdrivers. I next pried the top of the tank from the bottom of the tank along the joint. That prying did break the pins that held the top and bottom of the tank together. Even with all the prying, I managed not to break any of the frame or tank exterior. I installed a pair of Kadee number 148s into the coupler pocket. The method that I used to reassemble the tank car with an added 1 ounce of lead weight is shown on my webpage for the Walthers Amoco 40-foot tank car. The completed tank car with the added weight now weighed 97 grams. I couldn't physically fit another weight into the bottom portion of the tank car and avoid the screws, so it was just left with 4 1/4 ounce weights added to it. I had forgotten to take a photo of the Kadee couplers on the tank car and the height gauge, but the photo shows that the Kadee couplers are well matched between the tank car and the same caboose that was used previously. The Amoco tank car was run prototypically with the rest of the rolling stock for about 30 minutes. All appeared to be working well with the coupling and uncoupling, running and shunting. Since hindsight is 2020, it is possible that a Kadee number 147 HO scale medium undershank might be able to be used without all that work, but then the weight could not have been added to the bottom portion of the tank. Also, the number 147 might also have been too high. The undershank raises the coupler approximately 50 thousandths of an inch, according to the Kadee HO scale coupler offset chart, and only about 15 thousandths of an inch was needed to achieve the coupler height mating shown in the photo. Resizing the browser window, as shown in the screen capture, makes reading my website much easier. I suggest that my website should be checked at least on a monthly basis to see what I've learned, relearned, and where I'm going next with this project. In March of 2024, the website was completely revamped and revised to make it easier to navigate and find specific information that might be useful to others. If you have questions to ask or comments to share, my email address is linked at the top of my webpage. I would love to hear from you.